Hi, my name is Kayla.
Hi, my name is Jeremy. When my wife and I were about 20 weeks pregnant with our second child, we went in for the ultrasound to learn the sex of the baby. When the ultrasound tech was doing the ultrasound, she noticed some things were not right. She didn't really tell us much. She wanted the doctor to explain to us what she found.
Usually it's like the most exciting ultrasound where you find out like the gender of your baby and all the fun stuff. But for us, it was definitely a different appointment than that. It was scary and filled with a lot of emotions. I remember like the doctor just came in and told us what was happening, and it was like as soon as we heard the diagnosis, like I didn't hear anything else.
Part of the heart was not formed, was not there, and ultimately diagnosed him with what's called hypoplastic left heart syndrome. What that means is, on a normal person, you have two ventricles in your heart, and he had only formed one. I remember when he told us that, my wife and I were just very stunned. We didn't know what to think. Was a huge 180 from us to just find out if it was a boy or girl to finding out that we were going to have surgical repairs.
You know, we had some time before Oliver was born that we were able to kind of come to terms with everything. There was another family in the church.
A couple within the church that had a child that was about 2 years old at the time who had gone through the same exact hypoplastic left heart syndrome. We were scared to death and know what was about to come, and they really eased our nerves. Their child was very successful through these surgeries, and it was great to meet him and to see a success story with his surgery.
And they were a really big help and like support system whenever we were pregnant, and they still are. They're a huge support system.
It was a really, really scary experience to have a child and have it immediately ripped away and taken to the cardiac surgery and not have your baby there with you. When we had our first child, I remember as soon as we had her, I was holding her, and you go home with her and everything's normal. With this one, it was a complete opposite.
Because I had a C-section, I couldn't have anyone except for Jeremy with me, but that mama bear in me, I sent Jeremy with Oliver to the NICU. So I'm by myself in the recovery. So I'm in this recovery room and I can hear so much going on like around me. All these other moms with their babies are in there, and I'm just alone. Like I don't have anyone. I don't have my parents. I don't have Jeremy. I don't have my baby. But I remember just laying there and being so sad about it. And God sent a nurse in there, and she said, I'm gonna just sit here with you. She said, because it's not fair that you're here by yourself. So she opened up the curtain and she just sat there and did her stuff with me and just talked to me. And it's exactly what I needed. God knew that I needed someone just there with me in that moment. And even those little small things that God provides for us they make such a huge impact. And you think they're little, but just all the little things together are what make a really big picture.
He's 4 years old now, throughout the last 4 years, one of the biggest things that I've gotten out of this situation is the ability to share Oliver's story and to pray with people and to share how God has used his story.
Oliver is 4 now. He just had his third open heart surgery. He had his first when he was 5 days old, his second when he was 3 months old, and he just had his third.
I definitely feel like God gave us this story not as just Oliver's story, but as his story about how he can be glorified through the imperfections. And he used Oliver's situation in our lives to be able to share about God and to give us that in with people to talk about going from Oliver's story to telling about God's story and sharing his love.
I appreciate the surgeons and all the medical staff and everything, but it is such a miracle that he is here and he is walking and running and talking and being crazy. It's definitely just a miracle.